a riddle that countless people risked their lives to solve. Some were lost in those riddles forever. There are places in this world where both rules and time run completely different from what we know today. But what if someone tries to mess with them? Today's story begins about 75 years ago, when two hikers and their team went hiking to a place called Dyatlov Pass. But 2 weeks later, their dead bodies were found there. And it wasn't because of lack of oxygen. Looking at their bodies, it felt like something very strange had happened. To figure out what was really there, many more people went after them. They claimed that the moment you cross that line, it feels like time stops. Everything around just freezes. Then they felt something terrifying. And the same thing happened with them that had happened 75 years earlier with those two hikers. That's why the place is now called the Devil's Pass. People completely stopped going there, because there are some creations of this world we should always stay away from. And maybe the secret of that place will never be revealed. In 2008, a girl named Holly found out about this and grew curious to uncover all those mysteries. She decided to form a team, take them to the Devil's Pass, and see for herself. First, she talked to her close friend Jason. He immediately agreed because he loved uncovering hidden mysteries. After that, they talked to a doctor whose team had done the autopsy of those two hikers. According to him, they had died from hypothermia. But Jason said there were 7 more with them. How could all 9 people die from hypothermia at the same time? The doctor had no answer. Later, a sound master named Denise also joined the team. In the end, 2 professional hikers were added too. The team was ready. But before going, they practiced to prepare themselves for the harsh conditions. Once they felt ready, they all set out into that part of Russia where there's no connection to the rest of the world. A corner cut off from everything. But then, something strange happened. A few weeks after they went, all contact with them was lost. And this is what scared the outside world. Would they meet the same fate as the others? The government sent a foreign rescue team to investigate. The news spread everywhere. Some more people went into Devil's Pass, and like the others, contact with them was lost too. Everyone had their own theory. Some said the place was cursed. Others said there was a doorway leading to another world that pulls anyone who enters. Then one day a video surfaced. Holly had recorded it herself. Her face showed pure fear, as if she had seen something beyond the laws of nature. So what was really happening there? To find out, let's go 1 week earlier. That was when they were on the train heading toward their destination. Everyone was confident that they'd solve the unsolved mystery and uncover the truth soon. When they reached a small town near the pass, they found a hospital. Inside was a sick man named Tommy. He was supposed to go with the 9 hikers 75 years ago, but at the last moment he fell ill and couldn't join. When they tried to talk to him, the doctors drove them away, saying it was forbidden. But Holly noticed Tommy at the hospital window, trying to show them something. There was a board with something written on it, but they couldn't understand it. Later, they met a man named Peter, who would be their guide. He explained that this was the last human settlement. After this, it would be nothing but forests, so they had to gather all the supplies they needed. Holly told him about the board Tommy showed them. Peter read it. It was in Russian. It said, "Warning," meaning Tommy was warning them not to go. Peter also mentioned his elderly mother, Marta, who had been the first to see the dead bodies back then. They immediately went to her and began recording everything she said. Marta revealed many secrets. The strangest thing was her claim that she had not seen 9, but 11 bodies. And the 2 extra bodies looked completely different, like they didn't even belong to this world. Their clothes, their faces, even their features were strange. Hearing this, Jason wondered, if there were really 11 bodies, why did the official records mention only 9? What was being hidden? The next morning, they all set off again. First, the trek went well. But as the sun set, they pitched camp. That night wasn't going to be ordinary. Strange sounds came from the surroundings. Jason calmed everyone down, saying it must be animals. They needed rest for tomorrow's climb. Everyone agreed and went to sleep. In the morning, they resumed the trek and soon reached the spot where the earlier group had set up camp and where their bodies had been found. Holly shot a video, recapping that those people were said to have died from hypothermia. But could all of them die at the same time like that? No, it wasn't possible. Some reports even claimed radiation was found inside their bodies. Yet around them, there was nothing that could cause radiation. Holly reassured the camera, "Don't worry, we'll climb higher and find the truth." That night, another mystery appeared. Outside their camp were footprints. But shockingly, the footprints were bare. No shoes. In such deadly cold, even a second without protection could kill. How could someone walk barefoot here? Holly documented it for her film. Following the prints, they reached a weather tower. The footprints disappeared at times, but curiosity pushed them inside. What they saw terrified them. A human tongue lying there. Some teammates panicked, saying the place was cursed. But Jason dismissed it, saying maybe it was an animal's. Still, the tongue was clearly human. That night, disaster struck. Avalanches thundered down. Everyone ran. But Denise got trapped and died. Another teammate, Andy, was badly injured. Though some survived, they began to argue. Jason insisted this was all the Russian army's doing, trying to cover up their secrets. But none of their devices worked anymore. They lit a fire and sat, thinking what to do next. JP, who was injured, suggested firing a flare to call for help. Jason refused because that would reveal their location to whoever wanted to stop them. Then Holly revealed the secret. They had found a bunker earlier but hadn't told the others. When JP found out, he was furious. "Why didn't you say? Something must be hidden there." In anger, he fired a flare into the sky. Within seconds, 2 people appeared. Everyone was shocked. How could they arrive so fast? It had taken them 3 days to get here. JP told the others, "Go. Leave me here. I'll see what they do." Though they resisted, he convinced them. They hid outside the bunker. Those 2 men shot JP dead, then spotted the others and came after them. So the team rushed inside. The bunker was huge and long, clearly built for a special purpose. They split up to look for another exit. Inside, they found a lab. Old photos, coded notes. Solving them, they realized the Russian army had run time travel experiments here. They wanted to go back to World War I, fix their mistakes, and win the war. But something went wrong. Everyone in the lab died. The truth was hidden ever since. Farther in, Holly stumbled upon a Russian soldier's corpse. His tongue was missing, the same one they'd seen earlier. But who took it outside? The mysteries piled up. They also found a bizarre skeleton, not human at all. In another room, hooks hung from the walls. Nearby was a camera, shockingly identical to theirs. Even the footage inside it was the same recording they had made minutes earlier. Slowly, Holly pieced it together. When the experiments happened, 2 portals had opened. Some soldiers went through one side, and from the other, strange creatures entered this world. They got trapped and died, leaving behind those skeletons. Soon they heard JP's screams. Running back, they saw 2 creatures tearing him apart. The creatures turned toward them, but they ran into a room and locked it. It looked like an experiment chamber with an active portal still open. They realized the truth. If they stayed, they'd be killed. Their only hope was to enter the portal. Maybe it would open somewhere they could find help. They recorded a video of everything that had happened. That was the very same video we saw at the start, but someone had cut off the second half, hiding the truth. Holly and Jason held hands, closed their eyes, and jumped in. Suddenly, they were 75 years in the past. The day young Marta had seen not 9, but 11 bodies. Those 2 bodies were Holly and Jason themselves. Yes, friends, that was the big twist of the story. But there's an even bigger one. When the soldiers back then found them, they were stunned by the modern camera. It didn't exist in such quality in that era. They locked Holly and Jason in the bunker. When looked at closely, it was revealed. They had turned into mutants. The 2 creatures that had attacked them earlier were actually Holly and Jason themselves. That's why they killed only JP. Because when they saw their own forms, they couldn't accept it. It also became clear. The other hikers had really died from radiation exposure caused by those same experiments. And the camera found later, it was theirs, traveling from past to future, back to them again. And with that, the story ends. Tell us, how did you like this story? Comment below. See you in the next video. Thank you so much for watching.